You would have joined this workshop and been given relevant codes. To the left of the classroom is the quiz, and once completed your quiz, you can contact team at thedigitalpsychic.com. You will receive a certification of completion if you get over 85% or more. You are welcome to continue development with me and request to join Facebook Messenger practice area, where you will have to fill in an application form and provide relevant identification. To pass in mediumship, which is separate to this, you do require 5 validations from clients as testimonies, or 5 validations from the practice area. I hope you enjoy the workshop short course. I use various resources and discuss via webinar, bringing you useful resources from the internet, collaborating this with my own experience. So, DNA. We all have a blueprint of life, and it is located in every cell of the body. Furthermore, to each chromosome, 2 strands double helix of DNA, there are an additional 10 etheric strands of DNA available to each human, which have been dormant since the beginning of recorded history. Each additional strand possesses attributes that permit the individual to perform greater human accomplishments, and scientists acknowledge that we currently only use a third of our current 2-strand DNA, so it's about 3% of individual strands. Now, indigo children and rainbow children, there have been children that have been born throughout history of humanity that raise the frequency of the planet, that have more than 2 strands of DNA, that are active, also known as indigo children. These people tend to be psychic. They also tend to have abilities, mediumship, and also tend to be born 1970. They tend to also challenge inequalities and also authorities. Now, the double helix represents only the surface portions of the chemical, elemental, and electrical components of the active DNA strands. And here is some research material that we'll take a look at. I'm just going to read through this. So imagine if you woke up one morning and realized that you have dormant superhuman abilities that were waiting to be unleashed. That once you activated these abilities, you could manifest anything that you desired in your whole life. Live a life without drama, create your ideal physical body, become immune to all disease, and reverse the aging process. Imagine if you realized that you could actually change your blueprint of life, your DNA, to enable you to expand your creative potential, provide access to your subconscious mind, and become intuitive, clairvoyant, and know instantly what your purpose in life is. There is now a process which allows you to do this, and this is exactly what DNA activation is. So most people know that DNA is the blueprint of life, as I've already discussed, and it's located in every cell of the body. In addition to each chromosome 2-strand helix of the DNA, there are additional 10 etheric strands of DNA available to each human, which have been dormant since the beginning of recorded history. Each additional strand possesses attributes that permit the individual to perform greater human accomplishments. And that's why the scientists have only acknowledged currently there is 3% of the current 2-strand DNA. Thus, we live in a society where people are sick, unhappy, stressed, create wars, have difficulty experiencing love, and are totally disconnected with the universe. Most people have to meditate for many years just to have a so-called mystical experience. And that's how disconnected we are. Imagine activating 100% of your DNA strand and activating the 2-strand DNA plus 10 additional strands. You go from using 10% of the brain to becoming a multi-dimensional being with psychic, telepathic, manifestation abilities beyond anything you've ever dreamed of. Plus, you will stop the aging process and actually start to rejuvenate to look and feel younger. This is the original divine blueprint, what man used to be. It has been written that Jesus had 12 strands of DNA activated, and there have been children born throughout history, as I discussed, such as indigo children that already have additional strands. The portions of the DNA chain that science has presently identified as a double helix represents only the surface portion of the chemical, elemental, electric components of the active DNA strands. So science has yet to identify multi-dimensional spectra of DNA manifestation and has yet to realize within the structures of detectable DNA there are levels of structure and function that directly operations of the entire genetic blueprint, which are not currently detectable by the contemporary scientific method. So the human DNA imprint will always appear from external analysts as a two-strand double helix configuration. But what is not understood yet, and there's lots of research into this, is that written within the double helix there are and will be progressively more additional double helix strands, which fuse together and add their operational coding into the active DNA imprint. As science evolves into comprehension of the multi-dimensional spectrum, the understanding of the tree structure and the function of DNA will progressively advance. So in time, research will advance and they will find new DNA. But one does not have to wait for science to actually catch up with the rapidly evolving humanity. In order to begin advancing the functions of DNA through the processes of phylogenesis, we are removing ancient blockages through human anatomy. So basically just even initially doing your meditation, also cleansing chakras, what happens is you're cleansing the way for the new processes of new knowledge, awareness, and higher frequency. So we're directly connected to Earth, and it exists part of the Earth. And what this fantastic author here has stated all the ways in which we are actually on an ascension cycle. And it's discussed here that it happens once every 25,556 years, called a Lego cycle. And what is happening is the particles that make up Earth fields are speeding up into pulsation rhythm to prepare for this massive shift into ascension from dimension 3 to dimension 4. This is why DNA activation is so imperative. If you have energetic blockages, auric attachments, DNA distortions, or unnatural energetic seals, then you will not be able to speed up to the particles accelerating the frequencies. And it's all to do with evolution. So DNA activation actually does remove energetic blockages, and that's what it's about. And it's about raising frequency in order to be activated, rejuvenated, and also better. So there you go, you can read that in your own time. The link is here. I'll go back now to the slides. Material is there, accessed there. So why is activating DNA strands so important? It's important because Mother Earth is in so much pain. It's so the next generations can live in harmony, in peace. It's all about raising that frequency in order to be highly aware and also to benefit our health. The Earth in history have actually created a planetary DNA distortion that has made every living organism DNA on the planet to falsely appear as base 4 with only 4 chemicals. So humans are supposed to have 12 chemical nucleotide bases. This would allow us to have 144 physical chemical chromosomes as well, whereas now we're only at about 46. There's such a thing called the diamond sun DNA template. The angelic human DNA template, which most people on the planet have, are called the diamond sun DNA template. This is 12 strands, allowing for the 12 dimensions of consciousness. Most people on the planet only have 3 strands active, which only allows 3 dimensions of consciousness, and thus they are stuck in what we call third dimension, and that's why we see things in 3D. The planet is going through the time continuum shift, which only happens 25,560 years, and that's what we talked about earlier. And what we're going to do here is look at this link. It's research material for you. Move down. So here, once you activate the DNA, it's like you get a DSL connection to the mind of everything. And you can access anything you want just by using intent and intuition. And I always say this in the majority of things that I teach, intention is imperative, and also using your intuition. Manifestation, manifestation, so, so important. And here what they describe is when you bring more light into your field, which is what DNA activation does, you increase your frequency. So you attract people, places, events, and things of similar high frequency, which means business contacts, clients, money, etc. is actually activated. The DNA activation activates the strands that allow you to travel out of the void. So what it does is it allows you to become together with the creator. This isn't reality. If we are not in touch with the 12 strands and beyond, what we're actually stuck in is the 3 dimensions. So first of all, it's important to know who you are working with and what type of DNA template they have. When the term DNA activation first surfaced in 1999, it was just this practitioner that actually was discussing it, because it was just a theory. That's all it was, and it is a theory. And they were guided to the work because they were indigo type 1 with 48 strand template. But there are only 350 indigo type 1s on the planet. That means that basically they can draw into more frequency than other people that only have the 12 strand template. Transmitting others into that area, embodying into the 12 strands and beyond is incredible, because what that actually does is enable us to reach a higher ascension, a higher frequency, and that's what does bring about what we class as enlightenment. That's a really good article. You can read all about here. I'm going to see who the author is down here. So copyright here is 2018 DNA Perfection. All rights are reserved. I've used this as a resource, so have to by law. Just show you the reference and why I've referenced it in terms of I find this very useful as part of research, and I hope you also do. Look at master DNA. So the master cell also contains old patterns of degeneration. damaged or diseased cell patterns and cell memory. These cell patterns and cell memory can be cleansed and purified simply just by using DNA. And the benefit, if you look at this thing, amazing resource here. So what this they discuss is activation, turning on and tuning, turning up your DNA light codes to the highest level of resonance helps empower people to awaken to their full soul potential. If you have been drawn to the page here, which I've referred you here, your soul may be calling to you, work with your DNA light codes. Well, yes, that's why we're here. We want to learn about it, so good reference. DNA holds the blueprint to our soul. I've already said that. Science thought 90% of our DNA was junk, so it's classed as junk DNA. DNA activation session is an incredible, powerful, and sacred experience, and that's what I will be doing with you. So here's the benefits, what this lady discussed here also. It improves cellular metabolism, increases vitality and energy, natural fat and muscle balance, appetite for healthful foods, decreases desire for overconsumption, detoxification, improves digestion, emotional benefits, memory, self-love, decreases anxiety, transcends negative energy, releases of struggles. It's so much. It's incredible. And also the spiritual beliefs. And basically, I've just referred you here in case anybody wants to read about soul to soul healing and teaching from this lady. Methods. So we're going to go from current slide. So how you can do it is through sounds, music, words, affirmations. Thoughts and thinking produces electrical currents that generate horizon waves of light, emotions and feelings. DNA 1, 2, and 3 is physical, emotional, and mental bodies. So how to activate? DNA 4, using the third eye activation, you would use light language through light absorption. DNA 5, through divine love, we can cleanse heart chakra and see only love. DNA 6, the spinning electrons. So basically what you would do is visualize something spinning, and it's almost like seeing DNA twisting around, and you actually visualize the spinning of electrons. DNA 7 is receiving the cleansing process through the heart chakra and beyond. DNA 8 is the third eye chakra, is dissolved and the master of our emotions are self-released. DNA 9 is the same as this one, as DNA 8, where the third eye chakra is dissolved, mastering emotional self. DNA 10 is attract all that is needed, so lots of manifestation would be used for this. DNA 11 is sacred instruments. You can use it through sound, little drums. If anybody's doing sound therapy with me, it would be through like theta and things like that. And also if you're doing the angel course, the advanced angels will be using theta as well, which is very high pitched meditation sounds. And DNA 12 is the universal knowing that we are all one. The activation brings a person to a higher spiritual vibration. In order to process all activations, what I will be doing with you is to ask you to connect and just be at one with yourself. transcending and using divine source energy. What you would do is see a gold light around you and call in Raphael and visualize a green light around yourself in your heart. Visualize going down into Mother Earth. Okay? Visualize bringing up the energy through your feet from the base of your foot, opening each chakra to the crown chakra in a beautiful ball of light or spiraling electron DNA light. And it goes out of the whole of the universe, going beyond the universe through every single dimension, through all the spheres. In silence, you make the command, Creator of all that is, it is commanded that the remaining chromosomes are activated. Thank you. And it is done. It is done. Show me the master cell in the pineal gland. As soon as you envision the process as finished, rinse yourself off and imagine your energy coming back into your space. Go into the earth, pull the earth energy up through your own chakras. Imagine a big massive root tree and pulling the root up through your chakras to the crown chakra and imagining now you are the tree of life. These are useful resources. That wasn't enough cat. I think it's very important when you're learning to actually go look at different resources. I'll be there to activate you. I have qualification in this. I've got a certification in DNA strands. It's going through theory, researching, and then actually being activated. So I will help. This is really lovely. This is the sort of music that you want to be listening to in order to have your activation. What it's doing is it's raising your frequency in order to get you to that enlightenment process, to that level. Beautiful, I love it. You can do it in different levels if you just want to do it through music. I would suggest doing music and visuals, and I would also guide you in a moment. If you don't belong to chat areas, please do contact me. This is DNA regeneration, so if you look at this one, I've put the links in there. This isn't my work, this is other people's. I've referenced it accordingly, as you can see. So this is using 528 hertz, 7.83 hertz, 3.5 hertz. It repairs the DNA, RNA, cellular structure at 528 hertz max. So meditation music. I'll do it on quite loud so we can hear it. What it does is raise the frequency. As you can hear, it's very calm. This is for repairing your strands. This one here is for youthfulness. If you want to feel young, that anti-aging, you could be using this one. See, it's from 2.5 hertz, 3.5 hertz, 3.5 hertz, and then up to 4.5 hertz. Little beats. Several different ones here. This one here is higher vibrations, that's what it's made. This was for genius power, super intelligence, memory, and focus, happiness frequency, whatever it is that you need, really. So I will be coming to help you in a minute. So, remember that. Well, you would have joined this workshop and given relevant codes. To the left of the class is a quiz. Once completed your quiz, email me. You'll receive a certification of completion once you've done a quiz. That will just be to ask you some of the basics here. You're welcome to continue development with me. Please do contact me. You will have to go through an application process and have ID checked if you're wanting to join the chat areas where actually the meditations and stuff like that are done. You are quite welcome to just contact me to do it individually at team@thedigitalpsychic.com. I hope you enjoyed this workshop short course. I use various methods discussed via webinar, bringing you useful resources from the internet. But most of it is aftercare and providing that development for you, getting you to a level of higher consciousness is the aim of this workshop. So please do join me. Straight after this, those that have been watching it and live with me through the webinar, we will now conduct the 12 strands activation. Thank you.